Hi, in this short video we're just going to have a look at setting Gridlock up to work with either Lemur or Touch OSC on the iPad or on Android, as both of those are supported on Android now. So I've got my iPad replicated onto my screen here and I've got Gridlock set up. So both of these are configured via the OSC menu, so I'm just going to open that up. At the moment we have 4 separate OSC connections available to the tablets. So I'm going to enable the first one and give it a name. This is what will appear in the drop down when we've configured it. It will default to Lemur, so we'll change that to Touch OSC when we look at that in a second. And then over here we have an indicator which lights up when we're receiving data. We have a trace incoming messages, so we can debug. We have the incoming port, so this is the port that we're receiving on and the port that the iPad is sending on. We have the address of the iPad and we have the destination port, and then at the end we have an indicator which shows when we're sending data, and we have a trace also there. So if I go over to Lemur now, I've got the Gridlock patch loaded up and I'm now going to go to the settings. So go up to the menu and then go to more settings, and the stuff we're interested in is down at the bottom. If we look down here we can see that Lemur IP is 192.168.168 and the colon separates the IP address from the port. So this gives us our destination set up from Gridlock. So I'm going to go in here now and type 192.168.1.68 and I'm going to change the port to 8000. So here I've got Lemur sending to port 6667. That's just a port I've chosen. So I'm going to match that here as well. So 6667. And previously I found out the IP address of my laptop and I've entered it into Lemur as well. So we've got 192.168.1.102. So this is all the information that I need to set up in order to communicate with Lemur. So it's important that these details here match the Lemur IP address and port, and that this here is the IP address of your laptop, and that the port you've assigned here is the same as the port that you've assigned here. Okay, so I'm going to click done on that and go back to Gridlock, and I'm going to close this down. And now I should see Lemur 1 here, so I'm going to select that, and all being well, yeah, I should see an update there. And I'm now going to do some stuff on the iPad, so I'm just going to select a load of buttons there, change some banks, and you can see that I'm going through all of the modes here. So that's it. So that's all you need to do in order to get the communications set up to talk to Lemur. So if I open up the OSC configuration now, I can monitor the input and output if I'm having some problems. So if I press a cell on the iPad now, I should see a blue light here as I'm receiving the data. And as I'm going to send instructions back to the iPad, I should see the yellow light as well. So, okay, so that's as expected. If you're touching down on the iPad and you're not seeing the blue flash, then that means that you're not receiving data and you need to go and look at your settings again. Also, if I just bring this up so I can enter some manual switches here, you should see that I'm getting yellow flashes as I'm sending data out to update the iPad. Again, if you're seeing the yellow flash and nothing is appearing on the iPad, then there's some configuration problem there as well. Additionally, you can turn these 2 checkboxes on. So I've just brought the Max window up now and I've got the trace on. So you can see send and receive messages Again, if you're not seeing these, then just check your communications. So I'm going to switch over to Touch OSC now. So I'm just going to go and enter a new one here. I'm going to call this TOSC one. And this one's going to be Touch OSC. And the iPad information is the same as far as the IP address goes. So I'm just going to bring Touch OSC up now. So until it gets a refresh, the screen's a bit of a mess, but don't worry about that. I'll click in the top right corner to bring up the configuration menu, and the top line here shows us OSC 192.168.1.102, which is my PC address. So I'm going to go into there, and we can see that we've got all the settings that we need. So I have this one configured so that the incoming port is 9000. So that's here, and the outgoing port is 8010. So I can enter that information there. I'm going to come out here, back down to here, and then I'm going to go up here and select this as my control surface. And we can see the control surface refreshes as desired, so I can go on now and we can see again that I'm getting updates, and I can also move around my banks and my different control types. Now if you are using Touch OSC, I highly recommend that you enable Java, as this will allow the OSC bundle protocol to be used, which will provide much more fluid and smoother updates to Touch OSC and probably stop a lot of updates being missed as well. So there you have how to configure Lemur and Touch OSC to work with Gridlock. If you are having any issues, then feel free to pop along to the forum at forum.sigabort.co and let me know of any problems you're having.